Today I'm going to teach you a breakup spell. This is a spell that is designed to permanently sever ties with someone. This is a ritual that's used to completely break up with someone. And this is from Hoodoo tradition. And the ingredients that you'll need for this spell are very basic. A black candle. Black is a color associated with getting rid of something. So a black candle. You can purchase these on eBay. What I'll get into here in a little bit is some herbs that you'll need, a piece of paper and a pen, and a pot. So very basic. The ingredients are not hard to come by. And today I'm going to teach you the basic elements of this spell, how to perform it as a ritual. And I'm also going to talk about the dynamics behind it so you can see sort of how this all works out. Okay? And so today we're going to talk about, first word is important, a permanent breakup spell. So before I go any deeper here, let me be clear. It's very important before you perform this ritual that you're 100% certain that you want this person out of your life. And there are two reasons for this. First of all, if part of you doesn't want it to end, then there's going to be part of you that doesn't want the ritual to work. And that in itself could mess you up. And then second of all, if it does work, then you may end up regretting it and you want to change it or switch it around. So it's very important before you perform a permanent breakup spell to completely sever ties with someone that you be certain that this is what you want. Okay? You need to be certain that this is what you want. Now, before I get into the ritual itself, a couple of things that are important to consider is, how does this work? You're like, okay, so Taliesin, you say that I can perform this ritual and it'll totally break ties with someone. So how is lighting some candles and doing all this stuff going to work? Well, first of all, if you're watching videos learning about spells and magic, then obviously you want to learn about that sort of thing. But whether you take this from a supernatural perspective, or if you take this more as a sort of psychodrama, psychologically, a ritual to break ties with someone could have a lot of meaning. And that in itself can be very meaningful and effective. So however you look at this, so what are the ingredients that go into this spell? What sort of things will you need? As with all forms of ritual, again, as I define magic or ritual, magic, ritual is a symbolic representation of your desire. So whatever you do, it is a symbolic act that represents your goal. So you have your external ingredients, and then you have internal ingredients to the ritual, or rite, or spell. What do I mean by internal conditions or ingredients? The most important thing with such a ritual is A, that you're able to focus your mind. There's no point in lighting candles and doing all this if you're not even concentrating on what you're doing. So focus upon your goal. Second of all, emotional energy. Emotional energy is like the gas or the fuel that fires up the spell. The fuel of the ritual is emotional energy. So when you perform this spell, the most important factor is the emotional energy that you put into it. So if you're doing a ritual to permanently break up with someone, your preparation needs to be to mentally go over everything they did to you. Let yourself think about all the reasons you're fed up. Think of why you're fed up. Allow yourself to build up this emotion of why you're pissed, why you're done, because this emotional energy is like the gas or the fuel that will run the motor of the ritual. Very important concept to get down. So instead of just writing out how to do the spell, I'm trying to teach you the basic dynamics behind it. Your emotional content that you put into it is very important. So you need to think about why you're fed up. Allow yourself to go over all the things this person did to you. And this emotional energy is what will be infused into the externals of the ritual. Now, we have the internal ingredients. Now, what are the external ingredients that you'll need for this ritual or spell? Very simple, very basic. A black candle. Black is a symbol of destruction, of getting rid of something. And a lot of people complain that they can't find a black candle. If you're watching this video, then you're on the internet. Go to ebay.com. On eBay, I bought a dozen of these black candles for $4. $4. So there's really no reason to say you can't get access to something when you can just order it online. But alas, if you really just can't get a black candle, then you can use a white one if you need to. But it's really better to just get the color with the symbolism. So ingredients for the spell, you're going to need a black candle. You're going to need a pen and paper. Basically, you're going to write this person's name on a piece of paper. Pretty basic, right? And this is going to form a magical link. Now, in my opinion, it would be a lot stronger if instead of paper, you can write their full name and date of birth on the back of a photograph. Or if you can't get that, go to their Facebook, print off a picture of them, and use that as your piece of paper. So their profile picture on Facebook, whatever picture you print off the computer, write their full name on the back of it. And this will serve as your link. But I'm trying to keep this spell as simple as possible. So if all you have is a candle, pen and piece of paper, that's fine. And one more ingredient, cleansing herbs in a pot of water. Cleansing herbs in a pot of water. Now, trying to keep this spell as simple as possible, you can get herbs straight from your kitchen. Now, two important things to consider with the herbs. You need to make sure that you're not allergic, and that they're not toxic. Very important. That's my disclaimer. It's up to you to make sure they're not toxic and you're not allergic to them. Because you're going to be bathing with these herbs. You're going to make a sort of tea with your pot of water. So, just a suggestion. Really, you're responsible for what you use. What I use, hyssop, white sage, salt. So very basic things. Just get some cleansing herbs, rue, whatever you can find. Make sure you're not allergic and that they're not toxic. You're going to need some herbs. So that some herbs are just like different herbs are said to have different medicinal properties to them. Some herbs are said to be good for bringing in prosperity. Some for love, some for protection. So just like some herbs are good to remove headaches or whatever, there are certain spiritual conditions that they're believed to have within different magic traditions. Okay? And whether you take that as the traditional view of that, or if you take them as symbolic, whatever the case may be, and you're going to need a pot of water. Basically, you're going to put your herbs in your pot of water, bring it to a boil, let them steep into a sort of tea, and then you drain it so you're just left with the herbal water. And that's about the hardest thing you have to do. That's as complicated as it gets. So, take the cleansing herbs, put it in a pot of water, some sage and some salt, whatever. Bring it to a boil, let it sit and steep into a tea. Then you strain it. You may use a spaghetti strainer, whatever. So you're left with the herbal waters. You go run a bath and you pour the water into the bath. So now you have the occult properties of the herbs in the bath. And this is a cleansing bath because you're going to symbolically wash them out of your life. So you can see the symbolism. Again, as I always say, magic is a symbolic representation of your desire. It's a symbolic act that represents your goal. An obvious symbolism of cleaning someone out of your life. So black candle, pen and paper, and a pot and some herbs. Now I'm going to put below in the description box, I'll give a link to the written copy of the spell. So if you go to the link in the description box, I'll have a written copy of the spell. Alright. Pen and piece of paper. Go to the bathroom. Write the person's name. And say, "This is the last time I write your name." Light the candle. Look at their name. Look at their name and then say, "This is the last time I see your name." Get into the herbal bath. Wash down your body and say, "I wash you out of my life." Once you're done with your bath, take their name and over the water, after you're out of the bath, catch their name on fire and drop it in the bath water. Say, "I burn you out of my life." Take the candle, extinguish it in the bath water. Say, "I extinguish you out of my life." Then when you're done drying off, air drying, you take a pot or a bowl, catch some of the bath water before it drains out. Go in your backyard and throw out that water. Say, "I cast you out of my life." Then you may put some kind of statement of, "I permanently break all ties with you from forever," So you can see how basic and simple this is. Each act you do is a representation of cutting this person out of your life permanently. Okay? And again, whether you take this as a supernatural, occult thing that's occurring, or even if you just look at it from a psychological perspective as a psychodrama, this ritual in itself could be very meaningful just from a psychological perspective of a ritual that represents a formal cutting ties with someone. And again, magic is a ritual, is an act that symbolically represents your desire. Okay, so you have your water with your bath. You write their name on a piece of paper. You write their name and you say, "This is the last time I write your name." Look at the name. Light the candle, look at the name, and say, "This is the last time I see your name." Get in the bath, the herbal bath. Now in hoodoo, the direction that you wash is symbolic. When you wash up your body, it represents bringing in. So in this case, so sometimes you do baths to bring in love or prosperity, so you wash up your body. In this case, you're getting rid of, so you wash down your body. So even the direction that you're cleansing is symbolic of your goal. Everything you do symbolically represents your desire. Every act is a way to focus your desire. And again, it's very important to have the emotional content, the emotional energy acts as the fuel of the ritual. This is the last time I write your name. This is the last time I see your name. You light the black candle. You get in the bath, the herbal bath, and you wash down your body. You say, "I wash you out of my life. I wash you out of my life. I wash you out of my life." Beginning up with your head and down your shoulders, "I wash you out of my life." Working down towards your feet. Get out of the bath, pull the drain. Oh, take your candle and your name paper. Hold it over the bath water. Light their name on fire and say, "I burn you out of my life." Drop it into the water. It goes shh. Then you take their candle and you extinguish it in the bath water and say, "I extinguish you out of my life." Then you let it drain and you let yourself air dry. And before all the water gets out, catch some of it in a pot or in a bowl. You let yourself dry off. Of course, you get clothed. You don't want to go out in the yard naked, y'all. Go outside, throw out the water, say, "I cast you out of my life." Now, it's very important that you have faith, that you believe this is it. Faith and emotional content is what runs the ritual. If you don't believe in it and you don't have any emotion, then this ritual really won't do anything for you. You have to have faith. You have to know that this is the end. And when you get done with this ritual, when you go to bed at night, you have to know in your heart that that is it. And that is a very simple spell for getting rid of someone out of your life. And that is a permanent breakup spell. So today I've gone over the techniques of the spell and some of the elements that are behind it. So that is just a very basic rundown. So anyways, I hope that that was informative, and thank you for joining me. And I'll have many more videos coming out. Again, just a reminder, every Saturday morning I have new spells. So, or new videos coming out every Saturday. So stay tuned, y'all. If you want to learn more about magic work, I don't try to beat around the bush. I try to present the dynamics behind it, try to let you know how this works so that you can derive the most information out of this that you can. And that is how to do a permanent breakup spell. Thank you for joining me, and see y'all next time. Have a great day, y'all.